Hey, this will be a video chart on BTHR. Before I get started, I would like to note to please check my IRP disclaimer. So what we have here is an interesting chart. You can see that, and I don't mean to state the obvious, that it's a very new chart. Not many days, have formed the chart yet, but there is still plenty of information to pull out a lot of information from and do a technical breakdown. But before I even get to the chart, I want to point out that the company did release some news after hours on Friday about revenue and so forth. I'm not going to go through the revenue since this is a video chart, but I did want to point this out as it will play a role in the analysis. So the two things really to keep in mind is it was an encouraging and good press release, and it came after hours, so keep that in mind. But the first thing that really popped into my mind with the chart was we see past 4 days volume has picked up pace, but really more importantly is the way the price has reacted in accordance with this volume increase. If you've watched my videos, you've probably heard me say it a million times, but when you see increases in volume like this, and then you have the price either go sideways or worse yet down, that's not a good situation. But with BTHR, this is not the case. We had the increase in volume and the price moved upwards. So that shows that the price has the capability to move, and it shows that no funny games are going on or anything like that. Just nothing worse when you see volume really start to increase and then the price just doesn't act like you would want to see it with it. So this in and of itself is very bullish. It shows that the chart does have potential and will move whenever above average volume comes into it. So a very important thing that kind of a lot of people sometimes glance over. The other thing that I noticed was looking at this previous high here of 49 cents. This was the key level of resistance in order for the chart to basically continue its uptrend. You always got to break those higher highs, and you can see Friday it did break above this previous level and closed at 51 cents. Now keep in mind that news came in after hours, so this breakout happened before the news even came out. So that's a really interesting dynamic that's thrown into the chart here. The other thing with this is because the chart is new and because we just broke above this new high, the chart is now in blue sky territory, so it's a blue sky breakout. There aren't any other resistances. I can shrink up this chart as much as I want. There's nothing else out there, so you're going to have to go on your gut instincts in terms of resistance levels. But chart is in blue sky breakout, and I know lots of momentum players. Basically, all they do is look for blue sky breakouts, and that's what they want to play because those have the capability to really get moving. So we are in blue sky breakout territory. However, I know there's plenty of people out there that like to play pullbacks and so forth. So the key level of support that I'm looking at right now is a 10-day simple moving average, which is this blue line valued at 41 cents. You can see right here the price came down and bounced off of it. So with any sort of pullback, ideally, if the 10-day can hold, that'd be best case scenario. If not, a couple other areas, depending on where you want to draw them, I'm just going to call the other support level down here at 35 cents, which was the low right here. And let me get this changed to green. So this, you have the 10-day and then 35 cents. So basically 41 and 35 cents as your supports in any sort of pullback. And with any kind of pullback, as always, watch the volume. You want to see volume decreasing on pullbacks or sideways action. But if the price wants to keep going up, that's where we want to see volume just continue to increase and increase to show that there's strength. And because we just broke out here, a good way to validate the breakout is what kind of volume and price action do we get on this. And again, going back to the beginning of the video with the new press release out, that was an encouraging one. Good thing about the revenue. I wouldn't be surprised to see, hopefully this move, today's action gets validation with a high increase in volume and price action, and then that will really start to set off traders' radars and put BTHR on quite a few people's watch lists and radars going into, next week. So lots of things going on. The press release does add an interesting kind of spice to things as it came out after hours, and it wasn't an ugly one or anything. It was a press release about revenue increase, so a nice little kind of bullish twist added to things. So we'll have to see how it plays out on Monday, but the breakout is already underway. Now we're just looking for some validation on Monday with higher volume and see what happens with the price action. So if there are any other questions on BTHR, please shoot me a message. If not, thanks for listening and get this one on your radars.